Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Ignorance is Expensive. So, today we're going to talk about Google and why it sucks so much.
It sucks!
You remember that lovely voice, don't you? Quit trying to hide. That's my wife. Anyway. So, yes.
Apparently, you have to, in order to send files to a person, and it exceeds, like on a different account, and it exceeds more than, I forgot what it was, like a gigabyte or something, if that, more than like 500 megabytes, you have to create you have to send it on Google Drive. And if when you're sending it to the other account and they don't have a Gmail address or a Google Drive, they have to create one in order to view it. Otherwise, they can't view the files. It really sucks. Anyways.
Well, you heard the lady. So that's just one reason that Google sucks. Another reason, let's not forget the fact how they keep harassing people on YouTube to use their full name. Like, if you look at all of the videos, just type YouTube full name, you'll get so many angry people complaining about it. So, basically, I think Google has too much power. Maybe that's why they're being so abrasive. Like, because if you really look at it, YouTube and other sites were not run by Google. But as soon as they took them over, then things sort of went to crap from there. So, I'm going to make this clear to everyone. Like my wife said, if you get too many megabytes when you're trying to attach photos or files...
I think it's 500 megabytes. I think like 50 megabytes where it exceeds, and which is ridiculous.
It's too late. We've already seen your face.
I'm good.
Yes. So, I think it is like 25 megabytes, actually. So, you do have another option. Have any of you forgotten PhotoBucket?
PhotoBucket's another thing that's a ripoff. Okay, basically, you can't upload a bunch of pictures anymore. If you exceed the limit, you have to upgrade to and then pay. It's ridiculous. Pay more money to post more pictures on that site. And also, I don't like the layout anymore. I used it like 4 years ago, and I came back to it, and this whole site changed. And yes, can you get that out of my face? But yes, it's ridiculous how the economy and making money has totally ruined this world.
Amen, sister. Well, yes. So, yes. But you know, if you can't work through the system, you have to get around it. Which is why, instead of using Google Drive, I've resolved to the fact that I'm not going to use it. I will continue using PhotoBucket, and if they say I exceed the limit, I'm just going to go ahead and cheat and create another account. That's basically why I created the channel why I created the channel Scratching Cat Productions. Because my channel used to be Devsky1, but since those Google morons kept ignoring people and they said they don't want to use their full name, I had no choice but to create another channel and another email address. So, yes. So basically, Google sucks. Google sucks. Oh, and one more thing. Google sucks.
Google sucks!
But unfortunately, they are like the top dogs. And basically, the best way to to defeat the top dogs is by throwing them a bone, and when they're not watching while they're eating the bone, put a leash on them. So that's what I do by working around them and their rules and by cheating. So, yes, if you have had some bad experiences about with Google, be sure to put it down here in the comments box. Well, before we end this, it just occurred.
But actually, you know what? Google Drive is a good idea, and I have to give them credit for that. That it's a good idea. Unfortunately, they made it restrictive. But I do admire Google Drive. I think it's a very great idea, a great concept. When you have to send multiple files and you need to save them. And then what you could do is, if you're using another computer, you could download the files onto the computer that you're using. So I give them credit for that. It's just the fact that if you want to send these multiple files to a specific person, and it exceeds so many megabytes, then the other account does not have Google, then they can't view them. So that's just my and Google Chrome is good too. Google Chrome is a good internet browser. It's just, the whole concept about making money and creating accounts to make the business bigger and better, like Photobucket did, like YouTube did. Facebook is the same thing. Any kind of company that's huge, they try something to make it even better. I mean, even to make money, even more money, and that's what I don't like.
Right. So basically, they get you in a situation where they get you liking it, enjoying it, and then eventually depending on it, and then by the time you realize that you're in their trap, it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I agree.
So it's too bad, but I guess that's the way it is, and because of all this, there's been the creation of so much hype.
Because Facebook is the same thing with the ads. There's tons of ads that are put on the side of your Facebook account, like your Facebook page, because it's these companies who are paying for Facebook. And so they're paying Facebook to put on their ads on the side of the page. But like anything, there is a way to get around it. So, but it's all about making money.
Yep, it's like King Solomon once said, "A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things." However, if you don't have much money, like us, we're social workers, so we don't make that much money, we're not rich, that just puts the burden on you to use your brain to get around their rules. See, that's why I say create multiple accounts if necessary, because that's how you get around their rules. That's how you can get things done, by beating them at their own game. I mean, how are they going to know who's who? Well, that's all the time we have for today. So join us.
But that's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to do, is to create. They want the accounts, as many people as possible. Like, even if it's the same person, they want those accounts because that's how they get their money. Just like an artist playing on the radio. They want those listeners. They want, and their money, their funding is based on the listeners, the amount of listeners, the amount of people who view their pages for internet. So that's what they want, but unfortunately, that's what you have to do for some sites to get around things.
Well, there you have it. But, however, so I guess in this situation, it's a win-win situation. like, they win by getting more money, more funding, more whatever, and we win because we get around their rules.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And creating multiple accounts doesn't necessarily work because what happens if you forget the passwords? You forget your username. But for Photo Bucket, it might be a way to get around things. But as far as other sites, that's what they want you to do. They want those accounts.
Yeah. Passwords. That brings me to another thing. Thank you for bringing that up. Why the heck do they put all of these restrictions on passwords, for crying out loud? Like, at first, when internet first came out, your password could be...
It's because the site is easily hacked and easily phished. And so they want it secure, but yet it shouldn't be that way. It should not be easily to be hacked into in the first place. But
exactly. I mean, whose fault is that? I mean,
it's corrupt, ignorant people.
Exactly. Yeah. So why should we have to suffer? If you really look at it, like these days, because it's not enough to just keep it under a certain amount of characters. Now a password has to have lowercase and uppercase letters. It has to have numbers and special characters. So that's why people are always like forgetting their passwords. It's messed up, but well, that's it for tonight. Please join us for another episode of Ignorance is Expensive. And if you have any ideas for things we can talk about, then feel free to send me a private message. Before we sign off, I would like to take a moment to thank my lovely wife for being a part of tonight's discussion.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Good night.
I love her. Yeah. Good night.